Hey everyone, Glecko here back with another video. So I tried to make this video early, but I ran out of space on my phone. Please forgive me if it seems like I'm rushing. I promise I'm not, but I'm glad I had to redo this because the way I initially set this up, it was just like ugh. So okay, here's the thing. I want to talk about how I think a Diamond Kingdom invasion of the Clover Kingdom would turn out. So to pick a time period, this is going to be right around the time not Diamond Kingdom, Spade Kingdom. Sorry, I keep saying Diamond. Anyway, I guess I'll make a Diamond Kingdom video. Anyway, look. Let's say this, right? This is right around the time after the Diamond Kingdom's invasion of Chiton. Because Morris, who was possessed by Lucifero, learned that the Clover Kingdom had dark magic and world tree magic. So if Clover, Lucifero, who was possessing Morris, if he would have went to Dante, because he was also possessing Dante of the Spade Kingdom, told him, hey, look, man, I'm ready to get out of here. I mean, I'm ready to, come into the real world, open the tree cliff off, go to Clover, get Yami, get Vanjance. The Spade Kingdom mobilized their whole army. So this is right at the time of Chiton. So who all do they have to deal with? Well, let's take the temperature of Clover, so to speak. You got all the Magic Knight squads. You have Gilderoy. I believe Gilderoy Poizot was actually, I believe he was outed as a Magic Knight captain, right? I think he was still a Magic Knight captain at this time. So yeah, Gilderoy. No, he wasn't. He was outed. No, so Gilderoy is not the Magic Knight captain. So I guess it's Kaiser, because they found out he was a traitor long before that. Okay, so you got the Magic Knight captains. You got Kaiser, Jack, Yami, Charlotte, Vanjance, Nozel, and Marileona, because Flegolion is still out. And then you have the Wizard King. Okay. And then you have a few wild cards like Damnatio, but we'll get to him later. Okay. So, the Spade Kingdom invades. What's the Spade Kingdom invasion? What's the invasion force looking like? Well, it is the Dark Triad. It is Xenon, Vonica, and Dante. All at the same time. They're all coming together. Right? It's them. Some dark disciples. We'll say 7 because we don't really know the others, and it's kind of unfair to say, oh, they had hundreds of disciples when we don't really know. But we know for a fact that there was at least 7 of them, because the 5 that went with Vonica to invade the Heart Kingdom to get Lolopechka, and the 2 that went with Xenon to the Diamond Kingdom. And yes, Longris is actually going to be with the Golden Dawn this time, but he doesn't have Monozone. So anyway. So it's the Dark Triad members. There's 7 Dark Disciples, and we'll say about, they have the Spade King is pretty massive in the army. We'll say about 500 soldiers. I don't know how large their army was, but I'm sure they had a pretty sizable size army. But anyway, they have about 500 soldiers coming with them. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so what happens? Well, the Magic Knight bases are all spread throughout the Clover Kingdom, right? I'm guessing Spade. I don't remember the Black Clover landscape or map too well, but I know that they had like a noble region in the center. I'm guessing Spade would kind of be in the I guess when they run into like common realm people, like they run into like. Yeah, because depending on how they invade it, they would run into not like common realm, like the Forsaken realm. That's what it's called. The world where the weakest Magic Knights go. And even though these people are technically no threat to them, I don't see the Dark Triad and the Diamond Kingdom sparing them. The Dark Triad and the Spade soldiers. I keep saying Diamond Kingdom. I don't see them sparing these poor people at all. They might capture them, use them in their magic fortress machines, or just kill them outright, like Monica did to the Heart Queen citizens as they're on their way. Now, once it's known that the Spade is invading, especially with the type of force it is and the kind of destruction they be causing, I'm sure all Magic Knight squads would be mobilized immediately. I know some squads were fighting the Diamond Kingdom, I believe, right? I think it was just someone was dealing with some squads dealing with the Diamond Kingdom, so we'd have to wait till they get there. But the Wizard King would be deployed immediately. I think the threat would be deemed severe enough that no, Wizard King, you need to go. We'll just break the rules and say all Magic Knight squads are going. So, how does an all-out war with all of them begin? Well, how does it play out? Well, so you got the Dark Triad, the Dark Triad with their, and let's say the Spade Kingdom's goal is to capture William and Yami alive. So they would get to about the common realm before the threat would be severe enough that everyone mobilized. That's what I believe. So they tear through the Forsaken Realm. They get to the common realm, and that's where the big battle would happen. At that point, the Wizard King would be deployed because it's like, no, we need him. But you would also have, I think some Magic Knight squads would begin fighting him, like, say, the Green Praying Mantis and, say, maybe the Blue Rose Knights, because they're more in the common realm and all that. The Black Bulls will probably get there a little late, but the Golden Dawn would be deployed. Well, whatever. Let's just say it's because it's kind of tricky how this plays out. Like who gets there? We'll just say they're all there. So the Magic Knight squads are battling with the Spade Kingdom forces, and the Dark. So I believe that Xenon and Dante at 80%. They have the power of 4 Magic Knight captains, the magic power of 4 Magic Knight captains, right? And when you add in Monica, she has 3. So let's see, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. It's about 11 Magic Knight captains. So the Dark Triad would be able to overwhelm the captains in terms of mana and with their abilities. Dante and Xenon are going to be especially troublesome, but Monica's pretty dangerous as well with her Curse Word magic. But Xenon, with his spatial domination, can negate all the spells in a given area. Then you got Dante and his gravity magic, and none of them the only person who will be able to deal with his gravity magic would probably be Marileona. Because Yami used Mana Zone to deal with it pretty effectively. I think Marileona could do something of that nature. But honestly, the Magic Knight captains would get demolished. And each Magic Knight squad has a lot of fodder soldiers, so the army can deal with the captain squads for all the lower ranks. And then the Dark Disciples, who remember, the Dark Disciples are all on the level of Magic Knight captains in terms of like mana amounts and power. So they're they tear through the first wave. It's not until the Wizard King gets there that the Clover team gets a little bit of support and a little bit of aid, right? So I believe the Wizard King is stronger than any 2 members of the Dark Triad put together. So say Xenon and Dante, he's stronger than. He can beat them, even with the Xenon's ability to use spatial domination and get rid of the mana. The Wizard King knows Mana Zone, and the Wizard King can he got enough mana to get through it. Cause it's kind of complicated. But I think because of the fact that he has time, like had star magic, and because of Star's unique thing with gravity or space, he was able to hurt Xenon. I'm sure Wizard King having time can do something something to that similar nature. So he would still be able to use his magic, right? So you have but I don't know if the Wizard King can. I don't think he's stronger than all 3 Dark Triad members. That's when I have to draw the line. Like, no, I think these guys are just a little bit too much. I think they're just a little too much for you. Just a little too much, especially when you consider the fact that Monica's Curse Wording. So the Wizard King would probably have to hold off the Dark Triad, though they'll be weakened because they would have been fighting till they got to the actual battle with the Wizard King versus the Wizard King, who's coming in is absolutely fresh. But that leaves the Magic Knight squads against the Dark Disciples. Because the captains are, in this, honestly, I think the captains would be, pretty much weakened or just running on fumes. Like Mary Leona would still be up and maybe fighting a little bit, but she wouldn't be at her best, because the battle with the Dark Triad would have taken its toll. Now, sure, their squads are there. So Longris is there, Kirsch is there, Dorothy's there, the Coral Peacock, they're all there with Kirsch and Longris. So Kirsch and Longris can kind of give the fodder soldiers some help with the armies and with the army and with the Dark Disciples. But again, it's 7 captain level beings. Not even Kirsch and Longris will be able to deal with that. They'll be 2 of the strongest, but there's there's Asta. They've got some amount, like they've got some power and stuff backing them up. Kaiser's vortex magic it'll be pretty interesting. None of the dark. Remember, like the Dark Triad, they never fought. We never saw them fight together. They always fought separately. Together, they'd be a truly terrifying force, even with their, even if they were not taking it serious or anything. So, yeah, I don't see. I'm trying to think as I'm making this. I'm trying to think, how can Clover, turn this around? How can they pull victory? I don't think they can. Like Mary Leona is the reason they survived till the Wizard Kings get there, but to the Wizard King. Sorry, I said Kings. To the Wizard King gets there, but that's purely due to Mary Leona. There might be a slight possibility that Jack will be able to cut through his slash magic, be able to adapt to Vonica or Xenon or even Dante. But we have no proof. We have no evidence of that. And considering the fact that Jack is the weakest of the Magic Knight captains, yeah, it's not. I don't know. So I think they lose. I think the Wizard King, and I think he eventually falls, because I don't see how. The problem what I'm seeing is if the Wizard King, if he fights with them, it's a different story. Like from the get-go, like the invasion started and let's say the Spade Kingdom invades, and all the Magic Knight captains they're going to where the Spade Kingdom is to intercept them, and the Wizard King goes as well. That's a different story, right? Instead of saying, hey, just the Wizard King is fight, the Magic Knight captains fight first, then the Wizard King comes. If they're all at the same time, the Wizard King goes to battle. So this one they win this one, because the Wizard King will hold off the Dark Triad. Though there's a possibility he might get killed in the process, or he might get severely injured. But the Wizard King goes to fight the Triad, while the Magic Knight captains battle the Dark Disciples. Now this is a more interesting. This is interesting. See, it's 9 captains, but can they beat the Dark Disciples? Well, yeah. Of course they can. It's 9-on-7. They win that. No problem. The Dark Disciples go down, and the captains who each are stronger than 100 mages. Now the captains are going to be a little bit tired after that fight, because remember, Vonica has the ability to bring hers back, bring her disciples back from the dead or whatever. Ooh, if Vonica puts that on all the Dark Disciples and then all the soldiers, well, I don't think she has enough magic to do it on all the soldiers, but if she puts that on all the disciples, and I think it's still 9 captains. At the worst, 7 captains will fight one of each Dark Disciple, and the other captains go help their squads deal with the army. Once the army's taken care of, they all team up. What's left of the regiment. They all team up and they defeat the Dark Disciples. Yeah, because technically at this point, Longris and Kirsch would be, or Kirsch or whatever, they would actually go help with the actual army. And they're pretty powerful. Together they're on the level of a captain. So, yeah, then once the disciples go down, they'd all just gang up on the Dark Triad. And the Dark Triad are strong, but they can't beat, On their own, the Dark Triad cannot invade Clover. They're just not strong enough. Maybe if they were all at 100%, maybe, but they're not. They're only at 80% here. So the Dark Triad. So the first scenario, the Dark Triad and their armies, they're attacking, and they're fighting the Magic Knight captains first. They win that because they take out the captains. But the Wizard King gets there. The Wizard King gets overwhelmed as well because he can't. Sure, the Dark Triad will be weakened, but not enough because they'd have the Dark Disciples helping them. In worst case scenario, the Dark Triad, while they regain their strength, they just let the Disciples battle the Wizard King. Now, the Wizard King is going to absolutely destroy them, but they might even throw the army at them because like the lower, like the other squad members of the Magic Knight squads, they get taken out by the army. And maybe a few of the Dark Disciples. But if the Wizard King starts the battle with them, or gets there even like a second after the battle, not a second, like a few minutes after the battle begins, then it's a different story. The Wizard King is actually, he turns the battle because he takes the Dark Triad out. No Dark Triad on their own can battle him, especially considering the fact that one hit from the Wizard King is basically an insta kill for them. So they'd all have to team up. So the Dark Triad, as powerful and as cool as they are, they would eventually go down. And then they just, I think the Dark Triad kind of hold them off, but the Dark Disciples and everyone else gets beaten by the Magic Knight squads and captains. Then they all just team up on the Dark Triad, and the Dark Triad inevitably didn't lose that battle. So just a couple, like two scenarios, like just basic, because there's a lot we're not talking about here. There's Fonzel and them who are in the common realm, so the Dark Triad will meet some resistance, but they ultimately walk through that. It's interesting to see there's special people there's Damnatio who's like the guy who has the scale magic who works in the court. I don't see him coming out to fight unless it's like absolutely serious. And even then, I'm not too sure what he'd be able to do on his own. This isn't how the battle would actually go out though, because during the story, a lot of the Clover Magic Knights, they were busy. They were busy doing other things. Like one was battling Spade, one was battling Diamond. So it's they all couldn't get there at the same time. And that's likely how this would be, because there will probably be some who will be battling Diamond. But yeah, for the most part, if the Wizard King fights with him, they can win. But if they have to fight without the Wizard King, they get overwhelmed by the Triad's just raw magic power. This is Greco. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And one thing to be sure, the Dark Triad are definitely have to use 80 and 70% of their powers. But yeah, all right, see ya.